A lot of people say they don't have enough time to work out. Check your screen time. Time is a weird thing. Sometimes it always feels like you don't have enough time to do stuff, but we waste so much of it. Like, we're so not efficient. I'm as guilty as anyone. This is only my fourth day with like a 6:30 a.m. alarm clock. Been going to bed earlier and still struggling to get up at 6:30. Some days I get up at 7:30, 7. I really want to hone in on that 6:30 wake up time. And then throughout the day, think about it. All the most successful people who have done the craziest things have done it in the same amount, one lifetime, same amount of time. Some people get lucky and have help and all these things, but you could do way more in the time than you think. Like, do you drink alcohol? Do you smoke weed? Do you watch porn? Do you play in excess of video games? Do you scroll on Instagram or TikTok or watch tons of YouTube videos? Like, what's your thing? Like, do you go shopping a lot? Do you go to the movies a lot? Do you gossip with friends and just like small talk? Is your sleep schedule not optimized so you don't have energy? There's somewhere in your life where you can neaten it up a little bit and gain an hour or two a day to put into something that you want to do, whether it's do something creative, act, or do something on YouTube or a different platform, be a creator, or get in good shape. So many people want to get in good shape and they say, I don't have time to go to the gym. It's like, if it's, say it's 15 minutes to get to the gym, 15 minutes to get home, and an hour there. So give yourself like an hour and a half. And you're not going 7 days a week. 5 days a week is a lot. You could have great results going 3 or 4 days a week. But say let's use 4. Like, that's an hour and a half, 4 days a week. It can be any 4 days a week. It could be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It could be anything. So that's 6 hours. If you look at your screen time alone, you probably spent 6 hours on Instagram and TikTok in the last 4 or 5 days. So you could find that so easily. You could probably find way more than that. And then there's something called habit stacking. I heard that from a friend of mine, and it's such a good way to like condense good things. Like, he used to go ruck, which is like hiking with a weighted book bag on. So that's like full body muscle workout, but a good cardio workout. Be in nature, like do it in the woods, so you're getting time in nature, which almost none of us get enough of. So you're also getting sunlight and nature, and then listening to a good podcast or a good book. So now in that 45 minutes, you're getting a great cardiovascular workout, you're getting some muscle building, you're getting in nature, you're getting sunlight, you're listening to a good book. That's a valuable 45 minutes. Like, how can you beat that? So habit stacking can really optimize some portion of your day. I try to do that with walking the dog. So get out in nature, just get out and walk. Try to hit that 8,000 steps. Get some sunlight. In the winter, it's like so important, especially getting it early on. Like, Andrew Huberman, scientist, talks about it so often. It's so important to get sunlight in the winter, not from through your car windows or in your house, like outside as early as you can with just sun, without sunglasses on, walking, just sitting, something outside with light. It's like it regulates your circadian rhythm, which regulates your emotions, it regulates your digestion, your metabolic rate, everything. It's regulated by light, and in the winter particularly, we really don't get enough of it. So try to get outside early, get some sunlight. Get some sunlight, baby. All right, last set. It's a good workout program. I'm doing Boney to Beasley. It's a digital program, comes with a spreadsheet, so you can log everything you're doing. It comes with links to YouTube videos that shows you how to do every exercise. Comes with some reading material, like for nutrition and how to use the program. But it's a great program. I think for a lot of guys it would work very well. Even girls, but for a lot of guys it would work awesome. It's a bulking program, but bulking is really more on the eating side of it. And it's more designed for skinny guys or guys without a lot of muscle development. So it helps like fix posture, helps develop a lot of the compound movements and put on strength and muscle. But you're still doing just a lot of the primary lifts. So I would recommend it to 80 or 90% of guys. And unless you like you're trying to lose a lot of weight, if you're trying to lose a lot of weight, something like P90X works really well because it's more high intensity, burns more calories. You're not going to put on as much muscle, but if you want to lose a lot of weight, and that's the way to do it. It's like intermittent fast, be in a caloric deficit, but increase protein as much as you can. So you don't have to do a carnivore or full keto, but like there's no perfect diet. That's why I don't talk about nutrition so much. That's where I started with like I would say personal development was in food. I thought nutrition was so interesting, but there's no perfect diet. Even centenarians, people who live a long time around the world, or different cultures, we have different microbiomes, we have different food sensitivities. There's no perfect diet. Like, there's certain things that are like pretty bad, like eating a ton of sugar, most people would agree is pretty bad. Eating a diet of super highly processed chemical foods and stuff, most people would agree is bad. But like some people do really well on fish, some people do really well on beef. It's just like, pay attention to the fundamentals. Don't eat in excess of calories. Most days try to be a little under what you need. Get enough protein. Get some get foods that have high nutrient content, like eggs or beef. Some seafoods that don't have a lot of not cheap seafoods like farm raised where it's like heavy metals or poor quality. You get some like wild salmon once in a while. It's pretty good fish. But just stay away from a ton of sugar and a ton of processed foods, and get some like whole foods in your diet. So like chicken, steak, eggs, some salmon or a good seafood. Like just trying to do that. Like you don't have to hone in like, oh, eat this one berry, eat this one thing. Like blueberries are awesome. So like if you're gonna have some fruit, a couple handfuls of blueberries, the best. But you'll hear people talk about nutrition forever and touting the best diet, carnivore, or you got to eat this many beans and all this stuff. There's not a perfect diet for every human. We're all so different. So I would take a step back, try to be in a caloric deficit if you're trying to lose weight, increase some protein, stay away from highly processed food like chips or like things that have 100 ingredients in them, more simple ingredients, and P90X works really well. And if you don't want to do P90X, increase cardio, do it in different ways. Don't just run on the treadmill, like elliptical, swimming, hiking, biking, all different ways that you can do cardio just to increase that caloric deficit. So you could eat less or you can exercise more. Sometimes if you're just trying to eat less, it gets tough because like you're always cranky or you don't feel full ever. So like if you could eat a little bit more, but then you're also doing more cardio, now that difference, that caloric deficit can grow without being so hungry all the time. So I've been losing some weight. And I think most people think when you're losing fat, like you burn it, but maybe they think when they're going to the bathroom, they poop, that's how they lose the weight. But that's not actually how you lose weight when you're losing fat. So burning it is pretty close to what's happening. So your body, as it doesn't have enough fuel, it goes to fat stores. It breaks down the white fat, the jiggly fat. The breaking down of the fat for energy creates heat that powers muscles. I'm not a scientist, I think it's like ATP or some energy conversion. What's left over is carbon dioxide and water. The water from the fat goes into your bloodstream, and the carbon dioxide travels to your lungs and you breathe it out. So you essentially breathe out fat. Isn't that fascinating? And then the water you pee out or sweat out. So sweat and urine is some of the byproduct of fat, but most of it's carbon dioxide that you're breathing out. So that's just so wild. So keep breathing, breathe deep, extend your exhales, you'll lose some weight. So if your breath smells while you're losing weight, it smells like an old Kit Kat or something. That's because that's exactly what it is.